Thank you very much, Mr. Goktu. Is it good pronunciation of your name? Thank you, Signify people, for inviting me to this wonderful gathering. It was privileged since I came into, this is my first time in Holland, by the way. I haven't visited Holland before. What a welcoming nation, welcoming country it is, and that city as well of Eindhoven. It reminds me totally, ladies and gentlemen, this particular situation that I am in right now, with similar situation I came across in 2003 in United Arab Emirates. I've been invited to deliver a workshop for an hour, and they gave me a slot of time exactly the same after lunch, which is a graveyard slot. And when I arrived, of course, the setup was not like fancy things that you have here. It was kind of a classroom style. So I went in, it was only 30 people supposed to show up. And it was like the door for the entrance was at the back of the room. And everybody were eager to go. And then I came in, I plugged in my computer, and I was ready to go. I came in really, my session was at 2 o'clock, 2 afternoon, after lunch. And 1:45, nobody showed up. 1:50, nobody showed up. 2:50, nobody showed up. 2:01, a guy came in at the end of the hall with a briefcase, and he sat at the end, and I begged him to come forward. And as he just hit the chair, I started, because I have been paid for that session. So I got into my speech, and I delivered. And the poor guy did not discover that he's alone, and he's alone in the room, except when he gave me a big round of applause, because he was just moving around and seeing whether there is no one around him. I said, any questions? That will be the situation that you are going to be having a QA at the end. Any questions? He said, no, everything is fine. So I wrapped up everything, and I intend to go away. On my way out, as I was intending to go out, he said, Dr. Mansour, I said, yes. He said, would you be able to wait for me for an hour? I thought that he might need a ride because it was outside Dubai. I said, of course, by all means, sir, but may I know why? He said, because I'm the next speaker after you. So I had to wait. I didn't have no choice but to wait. So this is not the situation, Mr. Goktu, today, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to be with you, the leaders in Signify. I'm here just to share some of our experience in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. I'm going to shed light as well on our partnership with Signify. This university is first of its kind in the Arab world and in the MENA region, in the Middle East, that geography. It's the first online education that has been licensed to practice. It's the first that it has came into existence, not under any traditional university ever. So our key success, ladies and gentlemen, come from this gentleman. I think you know him very well. He's a forward thinker and a visionary guy. It took him with my 6 PowerPoint slides to declare that I have to go forward with this approach of education for the 21st century. That was in 2001. And if learning has to be reimagined, we have a kind of a formula. This formula, ladies and gentlemen, it works everywhere, especially in the education sector, maybe other industries as well. How we have reimagined education. We have 3 magic words. I'm an applied mathematician, by the way, by profession. So I believe in equations. And the idea was an innovative one, how to bring up a higher education institution, which is non-traditional, into the world which even people do not dare to leave the legacy behind in the traditional universities nowadays. We had an innovative idea, an innovative approach to learning. The second thing was to disrupt we disrupted the higher education system in United Arab Emirates. There is an era called before Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, I will call in the Arab world, and there are an era after Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. We disrupted the higher education system. When we came into existence, ladies and gentlemen, even the Ministry of Higher Education, the Commissioner of Accreditation for Academic Programs, did not have a clue what sort of standards that they are, and to be able to do and to push this system forward. So we disrupted the whole thing. And believe me, there are lots of people with innovative idea, but their idea always being kept aside and never disrupt the system. If you are disrupting something, I know yesterday I was in the lighting lab center. You guys are disrupting the lighting from all angles. The way that we have also been engaged with you in our campus in Dubai. And of course, the power is how you would be able to transform. You innovate, you disrupt, and you create another trend and another way of looking at things. This was actually our three magic words. We innovate, we disrupt, we transformed the higher education in that particular geography. Now, this was very tough, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because we didn't have a legacy before. We started from a scratch sheet of paper to establish a new learning engine of higher education. And all of you might know that universities, whether it is in Europe, North America, any part of the world, they had certain legacies that they will never compromise on. And whenever you talk about this, you say, well, we are the masters of education. You have to come to us to be able to discuss your business proposal. So we had to do this. And we have been successful to do this because we have adopted certain organizational values. By coincidence, I know from Mr. Rami 2 years ago in Dubai, without any preparation, just that type of coincidence, that our values matches Signify values exactly as they are. I never knew about that. This is our literature value. One is about learner centricity. You guys are always talking with customers, right? I'm here representing your customer. Customer centricity, that's why I'm today in your center as well. So learner centricity is very, very important. Look at the second one, the game changer. You guys are game changer, right? In your own industry, we are. And we are game changers as well. And also, together we grow. It's about our partnerships. How we're going to grow together. And passion for results. Am I right? And the last one, not the least, but the last one, is the same as you have as well, maybe fueling innovation. Because only with fueling innovation, we come to an agreement with Signify to have the lighting system in our university, ladies and gentlemen, with Philips lighting, which is Signify. Now, I'm going to elaborate in the next few minutes on what we did actually to do this, to re-engineer the higher education, to revamp, to rethink, to reimagine learning. Learner centricity. Learner centricity this is portfolio. People are talking about universities, they are always considering the third layer of this pyramid. We have 4 categories of learners. We call it 4 C's model. We have casual learners, we have committed learners, professional development, we have concentrated learners. They are the research-driven programs, bachelor, master's, PhD. And there are at the top, of course, the executive education. Now, before Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, universities in the Arab world and the Middle East concentrating only on the third layer on this particular pyramid, which is concentrated. People who are acquiring research-driven programs, bachelor, master's, PhD, but they don't care about the rest. And that is why the universities across the Middle East are not contributing to the economy of their own countries. On the contrary, universities are providing bulk of unemployment. And ladies and gentlemen, unemployment will never become a positive parameter in any growth of any economy around the world. So that is why our schools and our deans of schools are responsible to cater and to report on how they're going to be impacting the 4Cs model. And the smart learning, the online learning, the e-learning is getting at that particular edge. So the learners actually, wherever they are, now we are claiming in all of our literatures and marketing in the region, we cater from the age of 7 to 99. 7 to 99 means lifelong learning. So that's the we cater for. Today we are preparing young generation from age of 7 to 15 on artificial intelligence, on coding, and in terms of programming as well, by getting some sponsors to be able to sponsor for that particular age. And they are big fans for Hamdan Muhammad Smart University. Because, you know, the kids at the school, they will be full of enthusiasm when they go to a campus. They get up in the weekends. That's when they face-to-face. And the rest of the week is on our smart campus. I'm going to go through, one of the things that we have done about our learners also, it's a little bit of thinking. You know, every one of you, or some of you might know that there are certain courses today in the universities, even in Europe, that have been game-based. So when they teach about strategic management, they do a game-based course for strategic management. I'm not talking here about game-based course. But I'm talking about a holistic approach to a university that it is based on gamification, where learning, ladies and gentlemen, becomes fun. And people are going to be getting points as whatever they do. If they pass through an exam for 100 out of 100, they will get 100 points. If there are 9 out of 10, there will be 90 points. And if they do a research locally being accepted in a refereed conference, they will get 1,000 points. If it is regional, 2,000 points. If it is international, they will get 5,000 points. People at the end on the graduation ceremonies, they will not be given the trophy because they got an A or an A plus or 4 out of 4 as a GPA. But they're going to be getting the trophy because of their contribution to the society, on how many points they have already gained onto the gamification. The dashboard comes to each one of the learners, says, where do you stand? How many points you have earned so far? And where do you stand within your cohort? And where do you stand on university level? So people are getting kind of a fun. Without even 1 month after launching this particular scheme, without students know what the rewards are, they bombarded the whole thing into getting the points. Getting a discussion, getting a lead in the learning communities, getting a research, getting a little bit of voluntary work, all these being rewarding for reward with the points. So that was kind of getting the learning fun to the learners. This is type of a dashboard that you will see on our game changer. The game changers, like you guys are suffering as well sometimes with contractors and people who are doing the designs and architects when it comes in lighting, right? We are the same. We're in the same, almost the same boat, because there are 4 pillars of education wherever you go, and it will never change over time. You have always a student, you have always a faculty, you have always a curriculum, you have always a learning environment. These are the four things are always been talking about it. So when you talk about game changing, I'm going to talk about faculty. The biggest hurdle. When we started, ladies and gentlemen, we started with an e-faculty certification. On the day of the launch, one of the professors, he was from France, Alan, he said, Dr. Mansour, excuse me, but you are actually insulting our intelligence. Insulting our intelligence? He said, yes. We're going to go to the benches again, and we are full professors? I said, yes. Alan, have you ever considered to fly if you knew for sure that your captain on that flight has not been in a simulation room for the last 6 months? He said, definitely not. So, if you are going to be able to feel safe to fly with your own life, getting into the hands of a captain who has not been in a simulation room for the last 6 months, you're in jeopardy. Your life is in jeopardy. So how can then we make sure that our new generation of learners will be in safe hands when you took off with them? Sir, I am challenging your intelligence, not insulting. So from that day, we took that the role of the faculty changed considerably. The word teaching doesn't exist in our vocabulary. In our jargon of vocabularies, teaching doesn't exist in smart learning. It's about coaching and mentoring. Coaching, and especially in the online learning. The challenge is that you are exposing the minds of people really to the development, to enriching what is already there on the net, and how you will be able to coach them towards that. One of the things, these are some of the roles that will be with you, the curriculum as well as the learning environment, the smart campus. We have this smart campus, we have a kind of a mini Twitter even across the learners, the faculty, the deans, the chancellor, the board of trustees and board of governors, and even the president, who is the crown prince of Dubai. So everybody is looking into this mini Twitter. Wherever they are, they're going to be complaining about whatever they are. The two together we grow. Partnerships and the dilemma we have in that region is about how university will be able to partner with industry. How are we going to be partner with industry? That's exactly what we have. Partner with industry. And partner with industry, this is what I'm going to just to highlight. We have partnered with Starbucks. We created something called a social platform for learning. And we have, with Starbucks, we have 27 cafes contributing to this program across the United Arab Emirates, from Abu Dhabi to Fujairah, 7 states. And whoever gets into the Starbucks cafe, they will be given a scratch card. As you are drinking your coffee, your scratch card, and you enter the cloud campus, and there are softer skills to be able to entertain yourself with. Some of the stress management, innovation management, teamwork, leadership, whatever you are. It's a micro-learning for 35 to 40 minutes. If you're done with activities, you will receive an SMS. Go to the counter and get your cappuccino, frappuccino, whatever you like. It's free. To be able to incentivize society, to get the people the access to knowledge. That is very, very important in that geography that we are coming from. And of course, Philips Lighting and Signify was amongst those who we have chosen to be able to partner with. Why is that? Because I thought we as HBMSU, since we are sharing our values, same values, and we are looking for at all times with radical collaboration, not the usual one. And from Signify and from that particular collaboration, we learned a lot, as much as Signify learned as well. Our technical team got together. It was not one-way communication. It was two-way communications. It was expertise which are coming from Philips Lighting, and there were also expertise from our university to be able to raise questions. Food for thought. And it was coming back and forth to be able to provide something invaluable to the society of academia. And here we did about smart learning, the navigation, the space management, the energy optimization. Today, with the lighting, we are almost saving almost 60%. Today, our learners getting into the campus, which was totally traditional building we have been given. We converted this particular building into a smart building with the help of Signify and other entities as well. That particular collective effort, Signify plus Siemens, plus others, smart city, like the navigation system being given, we all learn from each other. That is, ladies and gentlemen, what we call about radical collaboration. That's exactly radical collaboration in action. We are not saying that we are the only one. HBMSU never will become the only one. But we are as strong as our allies are. And we are as strong as we collaborate with each other. And now this particular idea even went one step further. We are launching the first free zone into the universities of the future. Those free zones is the research free zones, innovation free zones, and bringing up new solutions to humanity and to the business as well. Whether it is business solution, whether they are improving the life of humanity. With the research, with the learners, with the faculty. We are demolishing the wall, which has been there for a long, long time, ladies and gentlemen. Between academia, we are so snobbish. And between the industry. But in a meaningful way, where each party will add value to each other. And that's exactly our strength. We are counting on our partners, Signify, to be able to help together to rumble the ground in all academia across the world. Not just only Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. We might become the catalyst to do this, but the sky is the limit for what is coming up. And also, by the way, HBMSU is the first university in the whole Middle East region. We have almost annual 14 awards and grants going after the name of gurus of quality management in the world. And these are some of the examples that I'm talking. Passion for results. Because I'm an applied mathematician, I believe in numbers. People with fancy presentations will not work there. You have to show me how. And that's exactly what we have been successful in with lots of the awards. And finally, the final point is about fueling innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, just only a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Gutuk was there. We introduced the concept of the free zone to His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, who is the president, the Crown Prince of Dubai, and the president of Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. We had now, when we started with Signify, we were with Philips Lighting. Sahrami? That's about the beginning 2 years ago. After 2 years, we are passionate for results. After that day, the Signify will lead the companies whom you have experience with to the rest of the companies who are joining the queue. So you guys were at the head of the line. And you were there to shake His Highness's hands and giving the blessing for the next coming up project of the free zone, and where academia and industry will join hands together to a better future for tomorrow. That is one of the things that we do. These are lists of those innovations. Final words, ladies and gentlemen. My closing words are, yesterday, smart learning was a historical fiction. Today, it has become a fact of speaks itself. Some people take it by choice, and others take it as they have no choice. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, people will take it as the best choice. Thank you very much.
I deliberately raised the expectation in the beginning. I think he satisfied all for the inspiring vision and the speech, right? Big applause.
Thank you.
So before I would like to open Q&A session, I think the next step, as he mentioned, His Excellency, we are going to sign MOU in order to create this innovation lab in the free zone inside of the university, and to create more lead together and to create more solutions together, and to be really help for the business and also the academy.
True.
Q&A sessions. please introduce in the beginning, Anissa.
Dr. Mansour, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the presentation. It was really great, as impressive as the first time. I mean, we know each other. My name is Anissa from the Middle East, adding the specification. I have one small question. Let's say two questions. One, you had been yesterday in our high-tech campus, our Lighting Application Center. Looking ahead, we partnering on this research, let's say, center. What is your observations from our lighting center? How will this help you in your research center? That's my first question.
Mm-hmm. I think we discussed this also last night about, during my visit to the lighting center, I've been privileged to go over it, and I think my idea is that the business overall principles are changing around the world as well. And those business principles are coming in a way or another towards the higher education institutions. Because sooner or later, in 10 years' time from today, there are going to be no universities. Learning is essential, universities are not. Schooling is essential, schools are not. Likewise, we have all experiencing, banking is essential. Banks as brick and mortar, not anymore. And the shopping malls as well. So, what I have noticed over there, you have a huge amount of knowledge is there. Most of those type of knowledge in terms of the lighting, the energy, I think the educators around the world are totally in absence. So we need to create kind of a bridge, how we will be able to transfer that particular education knowledge to education institutions, and maybe not just only the education, this transform of knowledge has to have the 4 C's approach, which is general education for public, there are professional certification, and there are also academic, contribution, and there are executive. So I think the amount of information that you have got there is huge and it has to be transferred. That's my first observation. The second, as we grow in business and as we grow in research and as we grow in any other industry, you are as strong as your allies are in terms of ideas, in terms of implementation, in terms of whatever you do. The research part of it has to become also one of the things that you engage people. You widen up your market perspective through engaging students across the world, through engaging faculty across the world. Your brand is always going to be there. People are going to be, like the students that I talked about 7 years old and 15 years old for this programmer that we are doing. They are making up their mind right now. They're saying to their dads and moms, Mom, I'm going to go to Hamdan Mohammed Smart University. The brand is there. So we engraved this. One of the things that we have done, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we went to a Kidzania. Kidzania is a simulation city within Dubai Mall for having kids between the age of 6 and 12. We were the gutsy university in United Arab Emirates to go and have a platform there. And we had certain games. People will go through education games, and they will be given a certificate for Hamdan Mohammed Smart University. We launched that particular platform in Kidzania by April 2012. Until April 2018, the number of kids between age 6 to 12 graduated through that particular platform within the city itself of Kidzania, 893,000 kids, locally, tourists, everybody else. And everybody kid is happy of having that particular certificate from Hamdan Mohammed Smart University. We need to come up with out-of-the-box thing, how we're going to be able to transfer that particular knowledge that you have in the lighting center. It's tremendous, it's huge. The third observation, I will close this answering your question, is about getting the knowledge to be able to be packaged well in terms of certification. how would Signify tomorrow will certify architectural design and designers with having a good knowledge of lighting, the essence of energy and life. Today, the concept of wellness is there. And you guys in the Lighting Center, I noticed that they are contributing a huge amount of knowledge into this being well, being wellness and healthy, and bring happiness to the environment that you are in.
Thank you.
Dr. Mansour, first, thank you very much for your presentation. Very inspiring. I'm Olivia Chu. I'm head of innovation for Signify. As you mentioned a few times in your presentation, you like very much numbers, right? So I would like to invite you to give us two numbers, but without equation. It's going to be easy. So first, how do you rank our connected lighting system that you have installed in your place? Number one, from innovation and a technological perspective. The second number, from a user experience perspective. 1, very poor. 5, very good. So which two numbers you are going to give to us about our connected lighting system that you have installed in your place?
What I liked about, please have a seat. Thank you very much for this question. First of all, I will never go below 5. Now, don't rush to give me a big round of applause because but is coming. Now, when I say 5, if I'm not sure that it worked, I wouldn't have been here in front of you. And likewise, like the Uber does at all times, we are Uberizing faculty very soon. Even our faculty today, when they deliver a course, a notification comes to each learner. Rate your lecturer instantly. If it is 3 and below, what went wrong? And if it is 4 and 5, what went right? So your question, I will rephrase it. What went right with you, Dr. Mansour, to be able to give a talk today in front of us, right? This is the right question. I'm quite happy for several reasons. One, Signify did have the values to change the game, even in a radical way, in an institution that usually they are very pragmatic, like institution of learning, the higher education. So that's number one. They had the guts to do it. Number two, they were committed to their words. And very rarely in the world of business, people will come to you to be able to negotiate and have kind of tolerance to be able to produce something. Third, they were open-minded. That's what we liked about you guys. Open-minded means that, yes, you are the expertise in the field, but you were at the same time good listeners. That makes your business fly. So that's exactly why I'm going to rate it, what went right. Because it is 5 out of 5. These are the reasons, some of the reasons. So that does not make you kind of being arrogant, rather than to become much more emphasizing on radical collaborations. Now we're getting into the next phase of the thing, with the help of our friend Mr. Gartuk, for the free zone. This is a new concept worldwide. How universities will be able to create a free zone around themselves to be able to cater to economy, to entrepreneurs, according to universities, in lots of parts of the world that they are lacking in higher education this way. So we are welcoming that you will become our partners into doing this. I hope I answered the question. Okay, thank you.
There is one question here, Craig.
Yeah. Doctor, thank you so much for being here and for your message. I was really moved by what you said, and I'm married to an educator as well. And we don't argue, but once in a while we disagree a little bit on some of the topics around education. One of them, and you mentioned it, is around faculty.
Yes.
And You've done so much disruption and you've brought so much innovation. Can you maybe speak a little bit about faculty motivation and faculty compensation?
Great. Can I go to my presentation for one slide? Is it possible? Is it possible just to go to my presentation? Thank you very much for the question. We need to incentivize, we need to incentivize the faculty on their growth. Faculty usually, they do three things. One, teaching. Second, research. Third, community service. That's the three key performance indicators for any faculty around the world in all traditional universities. We flipped that one. No teaching anymore, sir. Then the research comes number one, because you cannot enrich the content. You cannot become a coach unless you are enriching the content. Second is about content development, exposing your brain to development capability. And most of the faculty around the world, this, because I will become in a comfort zone. I will be having my note for the next 3 years. I will swap only exams. I will bring the spring to the summer and the summer to the fall and so on and so forth. So we know the game, right? And then the community service. What the faculty usually on that part of the world will do for community service? They take, sir, their briefcase and go to some network that they have, and they made a lecture for 100 people. They tick the box. Today, this will not become feasible anymore. They're going to go to the cloud campus, and they tease about their capabilities and potentials. We are getting them marketing free for your capabilities as a consultant to be able to do that. So one of the things that I'm going to share with you, because faculty, we have them around the world, not just only what we have on campus. On campus, we apply the principle of 20-80. 20% of our faculty are in Dubai, but the 80% are in a virtual space. But now, how we're going to incentivize those people is this. This one. How are we going to attract people, talents? We say whoever is going to enter with us, he will be having a silver card. Those silver have certain duties against certain incentives. For 1 year, and the rest will be the gold. The gold is a little bit much more requirement. And the third is platinum. When they reach a platinum level for 1 year, then they will go for virtual contract. How beautiful you will be having, sitting in your hometown and getting another stream of your revenue. That is something that, and it will be reviewed annually, how much you are participating. So the faculty mindset, when we change it, every single one will sign for a full-time faculty. They have obligation in 1 year, they have to complete their e-faculty certification. They have to be entitled how to be able to draw online. So this is one of the incentives that we bring to the faculty around the world who are. And now we're going to Uberize faculty. So no more full-time faculty, but the faculty will be around the world. It's like the Uber, right? And each faculty from now on will be worthing the price tag on their back. It depends on the same as the world of business.
I think we can take the last one question. Harsh?
And building on to the conversation that happened between Anisa and you, do you have programs in IoT or energy, light, wellness, where there could be potential of collaboration? Where
I discussed this with Mr. Gotak and Ms. Anisa last night. I had 3 types of proposals. One is how we're going to be able to merge the certification from Philips into our Masters of Excellence in Environmental Management. So this environmental management is a master's level. They are providing certain training, but the training that they're providing at the moment in UAE is kind of extracurricular approach. No, We're going to merge it, and we're doing the articulation, and then it will become kind of a mandatory for learners to go through this certification from Philips and from the Signify. That's number one. Number two is the research. That is what Mr. Gotok has said. How can we bring in the use of the learners and faculty at HBMSU to add value to the research and development of Philips lighting? You have definitely certain problems. We are ready not to charge you guys about the research, but to collaborate on providing solutions. So it will be a win-win situation to all. The third is about certification, what we talked about, the assessment center. The assessment, we can put our own value in terms of academia. We have already an experience in putting up assessment centers. So the know-how in structuring it as an assessment center is our job. The content is your job for certification of architects, designers, as well as anything related matters and industries to the lighting system.
Big thank you, Dr. Mansour. I think